Here's how to solve a TMUA problem without getting bogged down in loads of algebra. A sequence is defined by u1 equals a, u2 equals b, and un plus 2 equals un plus 1 for every integer n at least 1. And a and b are positive integers. And statement 3, the highest common factor of u1 and u5 is 7. Do pause the video now and give it a go for yourself. Now, this is from TMUA 2023, paper 2. And what you'll notice with these sorts of questions is you have 3 statements, and each one is either true or false. And we want to know which ones are true. And if they're true, there should be some proof or some reason behind that. And if they're false, we should be able to find a counterexample. So I'm going to go through these statements one by one. And again, I don't want to get bogged down with algebra. Let's start with statement 1. Does U 2023 have to be a multiple of 7? The answer is yes. Why is that? Well, A and B have the highest common factor of 7. And so in particular, they're multiples of 7. And so that means U1 is a multiple of 7. U2 is a multiple of 7. Now, U3 is just going to be U1 plus U2. So a plus b, and when you add two numbers which are multiples of 7, the resulting numbers are multiple of 7. So u3 is a multiple of 7, and then kind of proceeding by induction, u4 will be a multiple of 7, u5 and u6, and so on. They're all going to be multiples of 7, and so in particular, u2023 is a multiple of 7. If u1 is not a factor of u2, then u1 is not a factor of un for any n. Interesting. Now, this is where things could get complicated. You could try and this statement is either true or false. If you think it's false, you could try and find a counterexample, and that you could fall into the trap of just trying random numbers. And if the statement's true, well, there's got to be some reason for it, and it's not very clear, at least off the face of it. But let's maybe write down a few terms. So if u1 is a, u2 is b, u3 would be a plus b, u4 would be u2 plus u3, so a plus 2b, and u5 would be 2a plus 3b. And I could write down some more terms if I need to as well. And the idea is, well, u1 we want to assume is not a factor of u2. Does that guarantee that u1 is not a factor of any un? The answer is no. Again, it's not too difficult to come up with a counterexample. If we look at, for example, u4 here, it's a plus 2b. So we want this thing here to be a so we can use this as a counterexample, and the way we can do that is by making a 14 and b equal to 7. So certainly these two have greatest common factor of 7, but u4 then would just be a plus 2b, which is 28, which is and u1 is clearly a factor of this number. And so therefore that would be a counterexample to this statement. The highest common factor of u1 and u5 is 7. That is also not true. So u5 here is 2a plus 3b, and u1 is a. So we know that a and b have greatest common factor 7, but that doesn't mean that u1 and u5 do. How do I know that?